Bandicoot N-SANE Trilogy. The much anticipated remakes of the classic games from the PlayStation 1 era are now with us, and with those games come some surprisingly strange glitches. Maybe even more glitches than the original games themselves. So let's kick things off in the first game and that classic stage, Boulder Dash. In this stage, if you die after the last checkpoint, when you return to the part where the boulder drops, it now rolls a lot slower than it should do for some reason. This means Crash can easily outrun the boulder without even breaking a sweat. Now this is technically a glitch in itself, but the real glitch comes when you make it to the end of the stage and jump on the purple gem platform. Now there is some timing involved with this, but if you jump on the purple gem platform at just the right point, Crash will actually go through the rolling boulder, but that's not all that happens. If you keep holding down on the control stick to have Crash run towards the screen, eventually the boulder will hit Crash and then start floating off into the distance. You can see it glide majestically through a wall, and then I guess it's going back to its respawn point. Now the results may vary on this glitch, but this is pretty much the best version of it, so give it a try. Here's a glitch that if you do it just right, you'll soft lock your game. At the end of the stage Temple Ruins is this corridor with bats that fly down to try and hit Crash. It's possible that Crash can get to the very end of the stage and get hit by these bats at the same time. Now again, this is a timing thing, but if you get it just right, when the stage completion screen appears, Crash is nowhere to be seen, and the game is completely soft-locked. The only way to get out of this is to press the PlayStation button on the controller and just start again from scratch. I mean, I know it's called Crash Bandicoot, but I didn't actually mean to crash the game. Here's a glitch that really cracked me up the first time I saw it. It takes place in Crash Bandicoot 2 in the stage The Eel Deal, where you can find these monkey bar sections. What you have to do is slide jump and grab the very edge of where these monkey bars begin, and if you do it just right, this will happen. No, you're not seeing things, that is Crash Bandicoot doing a monkey bar action swinging just about everywhere where there are no monkey bars. You're able to take Crash all over this section until you can reach the very end of the stage, and sadly this whole thing has no real purpose other than to look absolutely ridiculous. This kind of thing is just what I live for. It's a perfect glitch. Now there are these kind of sections in Crash Bandicoot 3, but sadly I wasn't able to trigger the same kind of glitch, but hey, I'll take this any day of the week. Hey guys, don't mind me, I'm just swinging on by. This is just what Bandicoots do, you know, it's just, it's normal. Crash Bandicoot easily has some of the most entertaining boss fights in any franchise in video game history, and the N-SANE Trilogy adds a whole new glitchy layer onto that, which makes it even more interesting. For example, let's take a look at Ripperoo. Now, Ripperoo has a very interesting glitch that, well, while it's difficult to pull off, is very funny when you do. To pull this glitch off, you almost have to perform some kind of choreography just to get the timing down, but it goes something like this. When the big TNT box is just about to reach this spot here at the bottom of the screen, and Ripperoo is just about to jump to this square here, you need to then jump on that same TNT box. When it's about to explode, get clear of it and then head to the left side of the screen, ready to jump on this box here. Jump onto this TNT box and then immediately jump onto this TNT box. If you have the Aku Aku mask, make sure you take damage at some point here, and if you time all this right, Ripperoo should get damaged in the middle of the screen. While he's recovering, jump on the TNT box to his left. He'll jump over it and then take damage yet again, and then all you need to do is jump on this TNT box and then jump into Ripperoo, which kills Crash. This may take a few tries, but with correct timing, what will happen is the boss will restart, but before it has enough time to do so, Ripperoo respawns right next to the exploding TNT box and takes the final hit from the last fight. This confuses the game with hilarious results. What happens is Crash now celebrates beating Ripperoo, but Ripperoo's not actually dead, although he kind of is. It's a really confusing situation. Ripperoo just bounces around the screen now, all blacked out and smoky from the TNT box, but this actually counts as beating the boss. Ripperoo's a pretty crazy character, but I think this is overstepping the mark just a little bit. Another really interesting boss is Nitrous Brio, who likes to shoot these green blob things. It turns out if you destroy one of these green blob things the moment it appears, then this will happen. Oh, take it easy, Doc. Maybe you should put down the colored liquids. Now, as hilarious as this glitch looks, you actually cannot continue this fight, but on the plus side, Nitrous Brio won't be able to hurt you anymore. You're just gonna keep doing that? That's Yeah, okay. In Crash Bandicoot 3, the boss Entropy also has a strange glitch. Sometimes if you damage Entropy and then fall into the void to lose a life, when the boss fight restarts, Entropy will be invisible and invincible. Naturally, this makes this boss fight impossible to finish, and also you can still get killed because it's Crash Bandicoot. Man, these games have some really glitchy bosses. Anybody who's ever played the Crash Bandicoot stage Road to Nowhere knows that it's pretty difficult. Well, here's an exploit from the original games that still works in the remakes. All you have to do to avoid the difficult platforming in this stage is jump on the ropes at the sides of each bridge. To avoid falling off the ropes, I'd recommend using the D-pad and just pressing up. When you reach the ends of certain bridges, I'd do these kind of jumps instead of jumping and just going full hog, because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself falling off these ropes more than you're staying on them. It's one of the most useful exploits in the game, and I would abuse it as much as you can. Another thing you need a lot of in Crash Bandicoot is lives. Oh my goodness, you will need a ton of lives. Thankfully, glitches provide some useful ways of acquiring lives quickly. To even begin this glitch, you're first going to need the green gem, which can be obtained from the Lost City level of Crash Bandicoot. Once you have it, you then need to go to the Castle Machinery level, and there you'll find this green gem platform. Jump on this platform and it'll take you to an area with a ton of lives. Collect all the lives and then press start and exit back to the main map. All you need to do then is save your game and then reload that same save file, and then you can go back into the Castle Machinery level. All the lives will be back, so now just pick them up once again and keep repeating this process. Now this is a really quick way to pick up lives, but the glitch comes into play when you notice that usually you're not allowed any more than 99 lives. The game caps you at 99. But if you keep repeating this process, you'll notice that you're able to go way beyond 99 lives. I was curious to see just how high the lives would go, but I kinda tapped out at 274 lives. I imagine the most you can get is 999, but somebody'll have to test that out for me and let me know. In Crash Bandicoot 2, there's a great method of getting lives, albeit a lot slower than the Crash Bandicoot 1 method, but it still works. In the stage Behaving, just head to this pile of beehive, I guess it is, and then just stand in this spot and then simply spin. If you spin at just the right time before the bees are about to sting Crash, what'll happen is a bunch of bees will get killed in one shot, and this will generate an extra life. And you can basically sit here for as long as you like getting lives. And like I said, it is a lot slower than the previous method, but hey, you're getting free extra lives, so just go with it. While we're still in this stage, I want to talk about something to do with the pits in this game. Now normally when you fall down a pit in this game, you're supposed to die. However, if you jump down this particular pit, for some reason Crash is able to stay alive for a brief period of time before the game decides, oh actually yeah, you were supposed to die there. It also plays havoc with the lighting for the stage for some reason, but it's not the only one of its kind. If we head to the stage Unbearable, where you get to ride Polar, there's another pit glitch we can experience. If you purposely jump down this pit, sometimes you can get the game to freak out in a crazy way. Polar will continue running down the track so the camera is moving, and then suddenly Crash will raise out of the ground with his arms in the air. It's like some kind of crazy backwards roller coaster. Then Crash will get stuck on a ledge and the big polar bear will actually go through us, which is kind of weird and gross, and then suddenly this will happen. Crash will teleport and then get stuck in this animation pose, but there's more to this glitch. It may not look like anything's happening, but if we speed up the footage, we can actually see that Crash is rising into the air. And if you wait a good 5 minutes, Crash will eventually just disappear off the screen altogether. It's such a weird glitch, but it's definitely one of the most entertaining of the entire game. It's pretty difficult to trigger these exact results, you may have to try a few times, but it's definitely worth it. Anytime you get to ride Polar opens up a whole bunch of other glitches we can try out. For instance, in the stage Bear Down, if you ride Polar into one of these seals and Crash gets sent flying to one of these TNT boxes, if it explodes, it'll kill Crash in a strange way that when he respawns, he'll actually be taken off the Polar model and you're left with, well, this. I mean, what is this? It's kinda like Crash is riding a mechanical bull. The coolest thing about this glitch is you can still control Polar until you'll inevitably get hit by something and you'll die once again. This is just too weird. Oh, but it can get weirder. In the stage Totally Bear, if you grab the stopwatch and before the animation for Crash jumping on Polar happens, press start and then restart the time trial. If you get the timing just right, Crash will try to ride Polar, who's nowhere to be seen, and you'll kinda get stuck in this state. You can press the run button to do this, but there's there's not really anything else you can do, but there is more to this glitch that meets the eye. If you keep pressing the run button, you'll eventually make your way to the door, and you can actually get outside if you're patient enough. I think you're able to slightly steer Crash to aim him in this direction, but I'm not entirely sure. When I finally managed to get Crash outside, he slowly but surely made his way to the water, and then when he got there, he fell and died. That was pretty much the moral of that story. Don't try to ride invisible polar bears, you will drown and die. And Polar will just kind of watch this whole thing happen, and thanks for the help there, bud. Seriously, this is well done. Now onto a glitch that's completely different, which happens in Snow Go. Before you do anything, get the stopwatch to begin a time trial in this stage. What you need to do is make your way to this platform that takes you to the next section of the stage. You need to jump on this platform and then press start with the correct timing and then restart the time trial. And if you get it just right, what happens is Crash respawns at the start of the stage, and then you have this crazy dense fog that covers the entire world. And the fog will also lag the game big time. Crash is actually in a weird limbo state right now where the game thinks he's actually on his way to that next section of the stage, but really he's still in the main section. Basically, this equates to Crash now being invincible and unable to be hurt by any enemies, which, when you think about it, is a really fortunate position to be in when everything kills you. Well, you can still die from pits, but you know, everything else is, you know, won't touch you. Here's a strange glitch that happens in Crash 3 in the stage Hog Ride. All you need to do for this one is start a time trial and then make your way to the big ramp that sends you to the end of the race. What you need to do is veer off this ramp either left or right, and when Aku Aku picks you up Lakitu style, press start when you're placed on the road and then restart the time trial. There's some slight timing with this glitch, but if you do it correctly, when you restart the race, you'll actually get to keep that glowing shield that you had when you were placed back on the track. Also, when you get to the end of the race, you can see Aku Aku is still just hanging out. You can actually repeat this glitch multiple times to get a really bright shield and a ton of Aku Aku masks at the end of the race, so give it a try. There's a completely random glitch in the stage Slippery Climb from Crash Bandicoot 1. This will take a good few tries, but if you jump under this platform in a strange way, Crash will actually get launched upwards, and this creates a really cool shortcut for this stage. It's basically just a weird wonky physics glitch, but it's really funny to watch. And if it skips all that dangerous platforming, well, it's alright by me. And finally, have you ever wanted Crash to just disappear? Well, there's a glitch that'll do just that. In the stage Behaving, I swear this stage is really glitchy. What you need to do is jump up in the air and then press the R1 button to do this slam. If you then spin as Crash hits the ground, sometimes he'll turn invisible. The only thing that clues you into where he is now is the faint shadow on the ground, or if you have an Aku Aku mask, you can see him that way too, I guess. I think this is a really cool glitch, but it does make an already hard game that much harder because you won't be able to see where Crash actually is. And to fix this glitch, all you have to do is burrow into the ground yet again, and everything's back to normal. And that about wraps it up for Crash Bandicoot N-SANE Trilogy. There are a ton of glitches in this game that I haven't even mentioned, but maybe I'll come back to this game at some point. But for now, have fun messing around with the glitches in Crash